Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm going to be playing through the demo for an unreleased game, The Shore, about a man looking for his missing daughter who washes up on a mysterious island covered in eldritch monstrosities, it seems like. It's supposed to be Lovecraftian inspired, but not actually drawing from any of the stories, which is refreshing because it feels like a lot of games that use the Lovecraftian label are just trying to combine elements from the existing stories instead of the general themes. So let's get in here. I don't know how long this demo is. It is a 13 gig download, but I think that's mostly just because it's Unreal 4 textures. It does look pretty in the GIFs and screenshots I've seen of it. Though it's funny, I first saw this game... Ellie, my dear Ellie.
I have to find her.
Oh, okay, I didn't think he was going to talk. Alright, already it doesn't, it does not run great. So, we may have to bump some of these settings down. Well, there aren't really a lot of settings, it turns out. Okay, I think it was set on Ultra. Let's just go with high. Doesn't need to run at 60, it is just a demo. And is probably not all that optimized yet. So we've ended up here. This might be our ship. I do think this game looks good, though. Like, if you look at stuff up close, yeah, you know, you can see that it's a blurry texture, but if you look at it like this, I think it looks good. Alright, what do we got here?
A shred of hope. All what a man needs to keep moving before he loses his sanity and his will. Along the shore reminded me of the walks I used to have with my wife.
The I key to open the inventory. Okay. This is my boat of memories. My wife gave this pendant to Ellie before she left us. For when I will walk through the valley of death, I will fear no evil, and walk through the dark with my eyes open. Mom. Glad to have found this, it's very important to her. I refuse to believe my daughter was swallowed by the vicious sea. I'm sure she washed up on the shore somewhere around here. I will find her and give this back. So this is more of a mystery game than a horror game, though it looks like there is also some kind of horror-y sections. But I expect to see some big old tentacly monstrosities in this. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, I first saw this game on Steam, you know, just in the general upcoming thing, and thought it looked like just a quick slapped-together pile of assets, but then I saw a GIF of it somewhere else, and it actually looks more compelling. So I apologize for that bad first judgment. Alright, I think this is as far as we can go this way. Now, we can only walk right now, but in the controls it does say sprint once it's unlocked, so...
They speak of a fisherman who was lost in a stranded sea. He never came back. Now I know where he lies. What misfortunes could have drove him here?
I like this kind of faint, muffled voiceover we have. It has a sort of gravitas to his lines. I don't know, he looks pretty chill. Like he just kind of went, I'll just lay here. He is missing a leg, though. So I think we can just kind of freely explore at the moment. This reminds me of, I have no idea what the name was, but there was another game like this. I didn't actually play it, I only watched somebody else play it. Where you also, like, crash on an island, except you're in a plane, and the beach is covered in jellyfish that hurt you if you step on them to keep you from going into the water. Which I thought was one of the weirdest invisible walls. Cthulu Zone. Nah. Can't read the rest of it.
I have offered my right arm and spoke the correct words in his absence. Only pain accompanies me towards my demise. I was forced to leave the lighthouse. There's something wrong in all of us. Only God can save us now. What God is he talking about?
The slumbering one. Weren't you paying attention to your own narration? Okay, so I think this is a dead end. Seems like a lot of ships end up here. Also, there's like a jungle over there. Alright, well, I suppose we'll keep heading towards the lighthouse that we saw over here. I mean, I do think, again, this looks pretty good for a demo, but I do hope it continues to get a little bit more polished. I think it's a pretty small team.
Sink our feet in the sand.
Sunk.
For the last time. She asked me to tell her one of my stories about the wild sea. I could hear each of her breaths being shorter and shorter. And by the time I finished my story, pneumonia took her life.
I would think he's talking about his wife and not his daughter. Otherwise, it would seem we don't need to be here at all. Oh, there is a purple glow behind the lighthouse. And also a spear made of like a shark tooth. Maybe we should hold on to that, you know? Well, looks like someone was grilling up some salmon. Alright, I think we need a key to get down there. Is that for, like, prisoners? There are spikes coming out of the lighthouse. Perhaps to keep something away when the tides are up. This just reminds me that I still need to watch The Lighthouse, because it seems like my kind of weird. These don't all look like fishermen's tools. There's just an entire anchor. A painting of a broken statue. What's all this then? No eyelids. Body structure seems to be very strong. Can I actually, like, properly read that? Page is filled with information and illustrations of a bizarre-looking humanoid. It's very detailed, and the writer explains the features with such enthusiasm you would think he came face to face with the creature. However, the monster depicted is nothing but an absurd caricature. Something like that does not exist. In our world, at least. I have never seen such creatures before. Something is wrong here, like the god have forsaken this place and its creation. The fish-like people are no humans at all. They are hostile. They seem to be very aggressive. There is no trace of civilized behavior on them. Yet they seem to understand our movements, as they have seen humans before. The fish-like deformities on them are present. They have tried several times to ambush us. The only salvation for us to stay near the lighthouse. Study more of these abominations of the deep. Alright. So we know there are fish people about. And a key. Probably a key to the cellar. I'm not sure what that sound we're hearing is. It almost sounds like it's not supposed to be playing. Or it's some, like, Akira Yamaoka style grinding metal added to the music. What a strange island. What a strange monolith. I think I know what that is, because it was in the GIF. That's no monolith. Okay. There's a ship over there that does not appear to be destroyed. The lighthouse itself does not seem to be functional. Okay, we fixed it. Now maybe no one else will crash into this island. The like jungle combined with the very hostile black rock reminds me of Skull Island. This is kind of what the beaches look like on most depictions of it. Well, before we go over there, let's look down here.
How did they manage to let him die in here? What made them forsake their civiled ways?
Civiled ways. Alright, what's this? An octopoid coin. Okay, there it is. I recovered this from the grasp of a corpse locked up under the lighthouse. That cadaver was such a dreadful sight I can't take it out of my head. He was dried up, resembling a statue, and he had such a horrifying expression it sent shivers down my spine. In the darkness of that cellar, you must have seen something so horrid his hearth gave out from shock. Whoever locked him down there did a truly despicable act. And yet they were feeding him. Oh. I put my finger on the wrong key. I was like, why am I not walking forward anymore? It's because E doesn't make you walk forward. Anything significant about these glowing handprints? Alright, I guess there's nothing important down here. So let's go to the boat. Ah, perhaps we need to offer the coin to this octopoid statue. So we did need to go down there. Nothing happened. Okay, maybe we need to do something with the coin. There's that purple thing over there. Invisible walls. Someone did mention there are a lot of invisible walls in here. So I don't think we can get around this lighthouse to that purple glow. Oh, there's another one here. Nothing happened. If only I could just walk around this. I don't know, sometimes invisible walls just seemed like kind of lazy design because you didn't want to actually block off the path fully. You're like, just don't go this way. Okay, we can go this way. I think we need to imbue our coin with some kind of energy. Alright. It's a little dead end over there. We have still not unlocked the ability to sprint.
Until proceed into the pit, there's something I would like to show you.
I think I just got wedged.
What is?
Okay. I seem to have popped back out. I was like getting sucked under this rock here. So, the voice wants us to go into the pit, which appears to have a portal door in it. It's also full of skeletons, so maybe we don't follow the instructions to jump into the pit that we can't get out of. But that's not what it wants us to do. Okay.
Monolith is the key of the silent. Break it free.
Sure, ominous voice, let's just do your bidding. it doesn't move. Okay. I guess we just have to spin him? I still have not unlocked the ability to sprint, so I hope this is not timed. We just have to very slowly make our way over to the last one. And bang. Probably need to spin the last one now. There does seem to be like a weird circle around the monolith. So yeah, I'd say so far, while the game does look good, there is definitely a layer of jank to the visuals as well. So, trade-offs for it being a small team with big ambitions. Alright. There are lights glowing now above it.
See the world through the eyes of a god. Like a dream and a flash of light. Beware the existence of mind. And grasp time in your conscious mind.
It is an obelisk with legs. So this is one of the things that was in the GIF, is this thing walking. Does it have a face, though? Is it just returning to the sea? Oh, why did you have to wake me up? Now I gotta go home. Alright, well, best of luck. I got a daughter to find. I'm not sure how this helped me, though. Maybe now my squid dollars will be worth something. Some of these people are not skeletons. Also, I don't think they were there before, or I just didn't notice them. They don't seem mummified. Okay. Can I go anywhere? I might only be able to go back. Yeah, this seems like it's all blocked off. They're very specific about where they want to let you go. Alright, well, hopefully that squid did something for me. I go this way. Haha, of course not. Oh. Almost. No, they were very dedicated with these invisible walls to put them everywhere. Was that one there before? What nightmare is that? Yeah, it does seem to just be heading out to sea. I thought maybe it would be walking around the island to do something else. Well, not really much of an eldritch monstrosity, though. It was fairly harmless, and our character here did not seem very bothered by its existence. Ooh. Can I have that back? No?
As a young boy, I remember my father talking about this island. He described it in a way that would scare the listener. He spoke of black butterflies, corpse candles, and broken compasses.
Not the black butterflies, beware! I mean, the other one seems slightly more concerning, but black butterflies, eh. Look, there's a seabird, so everything must be fine. I think we're going to need to find another squid coin. Oh.
This island feels like it's maintained, untouched by time. The wind and the waves pause for a minute to rest. The calm before the storm.
I mean, that's great and all, but what's going on with the splashing coming out of this shark's eye? Like, how did that effect even end up there? I think we've stepped into the ominous music zone. Whalebone. Seems that ships aren't the only things that wash up on this island. Alright, there was another path over here, which I think will lead us to the purple glow. Or it'll just lead us to nothing. Yep, it'll just lead us to an invisible wall. Oh boy. Definitely not a fan of that. It doesn't feel very organic. Like, at least make it so you can't just walk up onto the rocks and then hit an invisible wall. Just make the rocks unclimbable. That makes more sense. I wonder if it's going to take the rest of the demo for that thing to walk out of sight. Yeah, I'm not sure why we went into, like, ominous, spooky music territory when we're still just walking along the shoreline. Okay. That's also a dead end. Is this a dead end too? No. However, this path appears to not lead anywhere. Oh, I can... Oh, this is the beach we were just on. Doesn't seem to be anything back there. How do I get to this friggin' purple glow that we can always see? Come on, really? No, you can't go that way yet. You're not allowed. Fine. I won't go that way then. Oh, there's something over here.
Despite his fear about the island, he would often come here fishing some very colorful fish. I remember finding myself quite disturbed as I watched him stuff his mouth with their raw meat.
What an odd figurine. Maybe this leads to that purple glow. Nope. It's another dead end. I still have the coin in my inventory, so I don't know if that means I still have it and can use it multiple times, but it doesn't seem very intuitive if that is the case. It also means there's not really much over here except, you know, a little bit of dialogue about his creepy father. No, maybe it won't take the whole demo. He's getting pretty far out there. He's gonna hit the edge of the map at some point. That's still kind of funny to me, though. He is the key to this island. Wakes up and just fucking bolts out of the island. I don't want to be here anymore. So let's head back to the other Octopolian statue. And the music went back to normal, so there's not really any reason for the spooky music over there, aside from maybe the beached great white. Well, we seem to have explored most of this beach area. All that's left is to head towards this boat and the jungle. Yeah, there's like a meteor or something over there. There's no way to go this way. Shit. Now I don't know where to go. Because we didn't find another coin, but there might have been one that I just didn't pick up. That's the thing, you don't really know there's an item until you're really close to it. I can't really see any reason they wouldn't let you sprint at the start of this game other than to make it atmospheric. Okay, is there one like just lying around here? Tucked away behind a rock for no reason? What about among the bones? Hey, any of y'all got a coin for me? Anyone? Okay, what about over here? Can I just take this one? Break it out? There's nothing behind the door. Yeah, I don't think it would just be like randomly laying on the ground around here. I think it would be pretty obvious. So, where the shit do we go now? It would be great if I just broke the game by clearing the wrong statue. It's like, no, you were supposed to do the other one first, so now you just can't progress. Which, I don't know, maybe that's the case. Maybe I'll have to play this again and do it the other way. I still think that would be dumb, though. Alright, I'm gonna double check that I can't use the coin on this one. Wherever it is. Because it does seem like the prompt has a little bit of delay as well, so maybe it just didn't pop up right away. They wouldn't have just made me go back and get it again, would they? Like, oh, it returns to him every time. Nope. What's up with this pipe, though? Is this the plumbing for the lighthouse? Do lighthouses normally have plumbing when they're just out on an island by themselves? I mean, we spied this boat a while ago, and we still can't do anything with it. Yeah, I'm hitting E on it. There's no prompt or anything, though I still have the item in my inventory, but I think that's just for collection's sake, in case I want to examine it. So, clearly, if there's an option, it has to be over there, unless there's a path I missed back here somewhere. But if I need to backtrack and, sniff around, then we'll just cut it and skip ahead to when I find where I'm supposed to go. I would have thought that we would find one by that figurine. Maybe I didn't look in the water? Well, it's kind of odd that I couldn't collect it at all. Okay. Just a bird's nest here in kind of maybe a bad spot, because it looks like it would just get washed away by the tides. I really don't feel like going for a swim right now. Do you have something for me, Great White? Just clamber right in there. Get him. Find a medallion in its belly. Anything in the skiff? I thought maybe we'd find it in like the fishing net. But there really doesn't seem to be anything around. Can I walk over to that island? Nope. The invisible wall is about the same distance out no matter where you go. Yeah, it's like right here. You can't pass. Well, shit. So, let's take a closer look. Oh, it doesn't seem to be anything going on with this floating figurine of a squiddish monster. It's not in the barrel. It's just weird that this whole area goes all the way along here and then it just stops without any kind of real anything here. Well, see under the seam of the level here. You know, if I could get through this, if I managed to find a hole in the invisible wall, I would take it. Normally I would be like, I'm not supposed to go there, but at this point, I don't care if they don't want me to go there. If it's a faster way to get wherever I'm supposed to be, then I'm gonna take it. Because this walking around and just like rubbing up against constant invisible walls, look, there's one here too, you can't even get close to these rocks, is kind of shitty. And maybe should be reconsidered. Alright, I'm up here now. Don't think that's going to help me at all. Aha, is this my chance? Nope. Locked off again. It's funny, though, because you can, like, so easily walk up most of these rocks without any problem, and then they put all these invisible walls. Like, just make the rocks harder to climb. Like, even without a jump ability, I can get up here easily. Because they are very simple slopes. Alright, well, I think this is where we stop and try to figure out the way forward so that I can continue the video and complete the demo. So, give me a moment. We shall return. Alright, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I quit back to the menu and then hit resume, and the coin was back in the guy's hands, and I had to open the cellar again, even though you can see we have already activated the monolith, so I'm not sure what it keeps track of, but I should be able to open this now. So, good enough, I guess. Oh, okay, now we've unlocked the ability to sprint for no actual reason. Why couldn't we do that before?
This place feels like it was always a part of me. As if it has taken a hold of me and won't let go. Another foot in the sand, but this time sink deeper beneath the shore.
Okay, well that's clearly a meteor inspired by the color out of space. Hey look, a bird. You don't look horrific. Just a kind of ruffled seagull. So I guess this thing is here just to look mysterious. We can't actually get close to it. Alright, well, let's head to that boat we saw. So there's not a whole lot going on in this demo so far. It's got some atmosphere, and it's got kind of an interesting setting, but it is really just walking around, looking at some weird stuff. Which was not how it was described, at least. You know, if it had said, you know, walk around, solve a mystery, find your daughter, that'd be one thing, but it does make it sound more like a horror game. Oh, is that the big C himself? I do not know how to interpret this. The monster described here is horrifying, but I have no reason to believe it is real, not even after that giant walking obelisk. At the end of the note, it says he will try to photograph the beast, and for some reason I'm opposed to the idea. Even though I doubt its existence, I don't want to see it manifest into our reality. We do not dare to walk the shores when the night comes. Something in the darkness seemed to follow us with great speed, or in great speed. We hid inside the small caves. We had to stay there for the rest of the night. Begin to fear that we are no longer safe on this island. We have to leave, but it seems everything works against us. Its long tentacle legs seem to be very strong. A boulder before it shattered into pieces with a single strike. My other half mind tells me I should stay behind and study them, and the other half really tells me I should leave now. It says John, one of the crew members, found a camera. If we get it to work, we should try a few pictures. There's like no punctuation or capitalization in any of these notes or subtitles. Seems like there's a little bit of a massacre happened by this ship. They got on land and were like, yeah, we're just gonna kill each other. Or the fishmen killed them. The not quite deep ones. I mean, one of the other creatures in the screenshots for this game is just like a mass of tentacles on legs. It doesn't really have much of a form. tell if it's actually... Yeah, it is still moving. I thought maybe it got stuck at the edge of the map.
Looking upon my daughter's toy gave me some sort of happiness. Yet I can't take my mind off the idea she's been taken by one of those creatures.
I take it his daughter is still young, then, if we're finding these toys. Now, we might be heading into the jungle.
Solitude and peace is what a soul seeks after being free. Did they die in vain? It appears they were murdered. What a horrible way to find solitude.
If you want to find solitude, don't you just have to go north? Alright, well, here's the camera they found. Something that does annoy me about this game is its only options are windowed or borderless. Which, why do people have such a hatred for full screen these days? My friggin' dock at the top keeps coming up, which is why I keep jerking the mouse down. Ah, this must be a picture of the creature, which is much smaller than the one pictured. So, not a true Cthulhu, just a star spawn. We have unlocked the ability to jump. Truly, we are skillful. The Silent Gull, native only to this island. Oh, look, a bunch more photos. Are these, the boys about to be beset by fishmen? Maybe that's them right before they got murdered. There's a picture of him and his daughter on the left there, but you can't open it. It was already here. This picture shows two creatures creeping up the rocks about to attack three misfortunate sailors. The appearance of these aforementioned creatures is very similar to illustrations found on a page I discovered in the lighthouse. It doesn't make sense. I thought those creatures were a figment of someone's imagination, but here they look so real. Could this picture and the bones of those men be proof of their existence? Again, we did see a goddamn giant walking obelisk. I cannot believe my eyes. This picture shows a monstrous sea creature flaying its tentacles around. The photograph appears to have been taken close to the shore, too. The sea is vast and the depths are full of dangerous specimens, but this monster is just too much. I don't know what lies at the bottom of the sea, but seeing this fiend so close to the shore is nightmare-inducing. It is just a bunch of tentacles. It could be anything. But clearly, Cthulhu lives at the bottom of the Marianas Trench. Oh, hey, Ghost.
You seek your daughter back. I can help you. But you will have to do something for me first.
I'll do anything. Anything to see her face again.
Even climb into this tentacle? What? What did I walk into the tentacle? Okay. We have...
Rid of them.
He kind of sounds like the main antagonist. Oh man, he's Naruto walking at me real slowly. He also looks a little more Abe Sapien than I thought. You swing your arms from left to right. Clearly, they need some more work animating these guys. The run. I'ma get ya. I'm a spooky fish man, can't you tell? Oh. I needed that. Well, I got rid of them. I can't believe that the big tentacle portal just dumped us somewhere else on the shore. It seems very anticlimactic for what it is. Ooh, a diving suit. I mean, I will say that a diving suit does seem like a good horror thing for a Lovecraft setting because of all the underwater creatures. A good horror segment, but somehow I don't think we're going to just walk into the water here. I think the Sinking City does have some diving suit sections as well. I'm still looking forward to doing a full playthrough of that game. It is on my LP list. Also, there's a plane here. But I guess it's a good thing I bought the game when it came out, because it is currently kind of unavailable from any storefront. Some kind of trouble it got into that is being dealt with. You can only buy it from the developer's website. And this is the edge of where we are allowed to go. Another dumb invisible wall. Alright, well, I guess we'll use our diving suit to just walk into the water until it lets us. Clearly, we have to use this for something. And it isn't there just to put a weird vignette on the edge of our screen. Just the magic in this movie playing, or this music playing in a movie as a man just slowly strides into the water in a diving suit. Like, it's not really fitting. There does seem to be smoke in the water there. So I think this is the way it wants us to go. Like, it looks like I'm supposed to go down there. Into the briny deep.
Now, through the depths, you will find your destiny.
It's a slightly derpy-looking moray. Is anyone else, like, really afraid of that giant eel in Mario 64? Like, there was the one level where I was like, man, that is one of the reasons I don't like underwater creatures in games. I've kind of gotten over that fear. You know, I used to be afraid of being attacked by water critters. This music is also very dramatic for what's happening. I assume this suit we found just had somehow an oxygen supply that wasn't, you know, unusable. Don't question it, it's a video game. It's a janky video game. Also, I know it's not their fault because, you know, people's voices are people's voices, but I always find it hard to take a game seriously when you've got, like, a voice actor with an accent doing the deep, like, monster filter voice. It just kind of detracts from it to have that accent. But yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like the main antagonist in Dusk as well. What? Okay, it's Cthulhu. I was like, what weird bat-winged horror is this? I thought the mouth was the back of his head. You know, he's just relaxing. That chair actually doesn't look very comfortable. Was that it then? Was that our destiny? Okay, and now we're in the Geiger Zone. Sorry, the Geiger Zone. And my skin is now the same texture as the ground, and we have a pyramid, which shoots lasers.
Where I heard you will find Cthulhu, a manifestation of Cthulhu's subconscious mind. Try to avoid it.
Shagtanach Gotha. Sounds like a shitty Shoggoth knockoff. Also, it is really, like, contrasty in here, so this is gonna look dark no matter what I do to it. Ah! That was a lot closer than I thought. Do not bother me, beastie. Oh. I don't know if I should be concerned. This thing seems very non-threatening. I kind of feel like I'm just bullying it. Well, this is a stupid section. Like, I'm literally just walking backwards because otherwise it's just going to keep hitting me. Out of the way, humanoid figures. I don't even know if you're hostile, but you're in my way. Yeah, like, I can barely see anything here. So, if you can't see anything in the YouTube video, you're not missing out much. Even the beam seems dark. Probably because it doesn't project any illumination into the world. They should probably fix that as well. Ah, yes. The Cthulu Zone.
Now, my watcher, you stand before him, the slobbering god.
Slobbering god?
Concealed him from within. Break him free.
Well, if you're powerful enough that you sealed him within, why don't you fucking break him free then? Why do you gotta make me do it with this pyramid? Look, I'll do anything to save my daughter, even unleash eldritch evil upon the world. Wake up. Grab a brush and put on a little makeup. I live again. You know those parts in Lovecraft's stories involving Cthulhu where he just speaks into your mind and takes away your triangle? And we're back on the beach. Was anything accomplished there? Probably not. I mean, yeah, we woke up Cthulhu, but that doesn't help us any. Even with the brand new power of jump, I still cannot go forward. So that sucked. I think that this game has visuals that are decent, but the gameplay is just whatever, you know. Maybe just stick with walking simulator gameplay if that's the alternative. I thought he was just gonna wave at me. Is that it then? Alright, that's the demo for the shore. It was not great, honestly. Again, it looks good. You know, it's interesting that they want to do a game like this, but I don't think that they have the, I don't think they have enough people or, you know, budget to do what they want to do with this. It's a little overly ambitious. Well, there you go. At least they can do better audio. I don't want to discourage people, because, like, I will say this is still not worse than the Mountains of Madness on Steam. That fucking abomination with its very defensive developers. But I think this definitely needs quite a bit more time to flesh out. So, you know, keep at it. Maybe improve the gameplay part of it once you're done with the mapping part of it. All right, I think it crashed. It just stopped. Oh no, there we go. Just reset into the menu. So yeah, that's the shore. You can download it yourself, though I think at this point you've seen everything. I don't think there's really much to do on your own, and it's a 13 gig download, so maybe don't. But I'll put the link in the description anyway. All right, I've been Shadefire. This is the shore. I hope you'll join me in further eldritch monstrosity-filled islands in the future. Take care, everyone.